All right, hello, this is Nick Brain, and welcome to Let's Learn Japanese. Sorry, welcome to Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. All right, so the way it's going to work, off this side is going to be the text I'll be reading, so let's bring that up. All right, so as I read this text, this text is usually subtitled rips from TV shows, but it could also be from digital books as well. And then up above is going to be audio I'll be reading along too. And so right off the benefit there is I get to hear how native level pronunciation of all the words and sentences. Cool, nothing complicated there. So as I read along, come across something I don't quite know or don't quite understand, what I can do is like pause the audio and just read or reread it, trying to make sure I understand like what I'm actually am reading, what the sentence is trying to tell me. And if I'm run into a problem word, I can, let's just say, let's get a better word than that. Yeah, there we go, tobacco. What I can do is like read this and look, well, maybe not, let's go with, there we go, because it tells you tobacco. So the idea here is like, first I look up a word and usually what's going to pop up is a Japanese definition. So I read the definition. If I can't quite understand what the word means by looking at the Japanese definition, I can scroll on down and there is a Japanese English dictionary plug into this pop-up dictionary called Yomi-chan. And so again, most likely immediately know it from that as well. All right, and if not, then again, there's still some more dictionary in there, some dictionaries in there that I might even get even a more elegant meaning as to what this word or phrase is trying to tell me. All right, so read along. Benefit for looking up the words that now I get comprehension of words I didn't know. So that means that it turns this TV show that may have been above my level, my current Japanese level, but now it's bringing it down to my level because, again, I'm understanding a few of the words that, would have made the story incomprehensible, or at least not as comprehensible. And that most likely means not as fun, because now I know what some of these words are. The show as a whole becomes more comprehensible and more enjoyable. Okay, so that's the benefit there. The secondary, I'm saying lots of benefits here. After all is said and done, let's say you watch a show like this. What the real benefit you notice is when you rewatch the show. But watch the show as it's meant to be watched. Maybe even turn the subtitles off, or keep the you can keep the Japanese subtitles on or turn them off. But you'll notice you actually have a much higher comprehension of the show than if you just try to watch the show 3 or 4 times without subtitles or anything, just trying to watch the show by itself. That's the power of what this is bringing into. So you are enjoying it. This is a very enjoyable way of consuming the show. You increase your level of comprehension, and you also make the show more comprehensible from that point forward. Okay, so that said, let's with the little intro out of the way. Let's just say, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy the series I'm doing here, you can subscribe to the channel, see more series like this. If you like the this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. If you like that project, what I'm doing, helping the Japanese learning community, you can support that by becoming a patron. The links to the Patreon below. There's links to the Let's Learn Japanese website, the links to the Let's Learn Japanese Discord. Also, if you want to hire me on commission, that can be done via the Patreon. The hourly rates are given there. Usually it's for getting started, getting all the more technical stuff, the programs set up in just the right way that'll work for you, instead of you and get you into learning Japanese a lot faster. Okay. So yeah, so it's not like a continuous thing. Usually just 1 or 2 sessions. Good. Don't even need to worry about anything after that. You got everything else you learn on the fly. All right. This episode is Let's Read Japanese,深夜食堂, Season 1, Episode 9. Next to last episode of the season. After this season's over, I'm going to pause the series, pause the Shinya Shokudo series, and going to do Kino Nani o Tabata, what did you eat yesterday? And then come back to season 2 of Shinya Shokudo. And then something in the middle, after season 2, I'll do another show. Then after season 3, I'll do another show. After season 4, I'll do another show. And then definitely after season 5, because there's only 5 seasons of this. I'm debating whether or not to also include the movies. I think the movies occur before the Netflix show, so it might be useful to watch. I think there's 1 or 2 movies. Watch those, and then that'll help maybe introduce characters or that might be showing up in the series itself. So I'll have to think about that. usually don't. I have done movies before. I've done that with Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, with the last movie, End of Evangelion. So I did turn. It was on treated like it was 4 different episodes, like 4 different videos, since it was like a 2-hour movie. So yeah, made sense. Okay, it was like 4 small anime episodes, merged into into a 2-hour movie. What else? I think that's about it. There's really not too much more to think about on that one. The little episodes I'll do in between these shows. Yeah, again, it's still up in the air. If you got suggestions, feel free to make it. But try to make sure it's on Netflix. That makes it the easiest. For one, the best reason for make sure it's on Netflix, that everyone else can then experience, like they could actually watch my video here and maybe understand the series a little bit, the episode a little bit better, than go and actually watch the series episode on their own, and hopefully, probably find out like it's much more comprehensible that way. People have done that, and some people have also said it's helping their pronunciation as well. Not what I'm saying in Japanese, but what they're hearing from the native people saying in Japanese. With that, let's get started. That was a very uncomfortable intro. Maybe I'm drinking too much coffee. All right, episode 9.
一日が終わり、人々が家路へと急ぐ頃、俺の一日は始まる。メニューはこれだけ。あとは勝手に注文してくれりゃ、できるもんなら作るよってのが俺の営業方針さ。営業時間は夜12時から朝7時頃まで。人は深夜食堂って言ってるよ。客が来るかって？それが結構来るんだよ。ここ2日続けて朝の6時を回った頃、粋なばあさんが朝飯を食べに来る。
I already looked up Ikina, but Ikina.
ごちそうさま。タバコいい？
食後の一服は外せないもんな。
東京ってどこもかしこも禁煙だらけで。
かしこもかい。Let's see if that's a full phrase. どこもかしこも。どこもかしこも。
住みにくくな。東京ってどこもかしこも禁煙だらけで住みにくくなったわね。
最近は特にね。
吸ってて90まで生きる人だっているのに。
Yeah, but a lot more people died of lung cancer than those that survived it. Careful of survivorship bias.
寿命なんてわからない。
Yeah, you don't know, but again, like you still wear your seatbelt and don't sleep on train tracks.
こちらへは旅行かなんかで。
仕事も子供に譲ったし、田舎にいてもババ臭くなるだけだから。
どちらですか？
肥後の熊本。
肥後熊本。
なまってないね。
Wait.
私元は江戸っ子だもん。熊本は死んだ亭主の里。
Let me hear her say that again.
私元は江戸っ子だもん。 熊本は死んだ亭主の里。
Okay. Makes sense. That's where a dead husband's from.
その先のウィークリーマンション借りてんの。
Weekly mansion. I think that's a full for.
しばらく。
Maybe that's like a vacation house?
その先のウィークリーマンション借りてんの。しばらくのんびりするつもり。
Or maybe that's like timeshare, like weekly mansion. Maybe that's a term for a timeshare.
しばらくのんびりするつもり。東京にしては美味しかったわ、ここの味。
でしょ。沼津の知り合いから先週。
おはよ
う。おい、どうしたい。
巡業の帰り。
巡業、いろいろ。Travels? Sure. 巡業。
巡業の帰り。深夜バスって肩こるわ。深夜バスって肩こるわ。ビール。
うちで寝た方がいいんじゃないのかい。
シラフが嫌なのよ。
シラフが。Probably that one. シラフ。
シラフが嫌なのよ。結局女の価値なんてさ、体しかないのよね。結局女の価値なんてさ、体しかないのよね。
ずいぶん弱気だね。
どうも。
巡業ってお芝居か何か。
Performance, right? お芝居。So maybe okay, entertainment troupe. Okay, gotcha. Jungyo. Okay, that's what. Okay.
巡業ってお芝居か何か。
踊り。ダンサーのマリリン松島って言います。
よろしく。
何なのよこの段。いや、玉恵んでもらってね。八千代さんの言う通りの台選んで打ったのバンバン出ちゃってさ。すっきりした。八千代さん、じゃんじゃん飲んで。私今日みんなおごるからさ。
うちは食堂だよ。酒は3本まで。
そんなこと言わないでさ。せっかく嫌なこと全部忘れちゃえた夜なんだから。
嫌なこと。Yeah. Stuff she hates.
せっかく嫌なこと全部忘れちゃえた夜なんだから。ねえ、教えてよ。なんであんなに出る台わかんの？
欲を持つとダメさ。
欲を持つと。
欲を持つとダメさ。あんまりがつくと心が濁るからね。
つくとガツガツ。See, that's a phrase. Okay. Nigoru. Ikidai. Yeah, I know it should be like melting or whatnot. Dissolve. Koro ga nigoru. Nigoru.
あんまりがつくと欲を持つとダメさ。あんまりがつくと心が濁るからね。変なラインに引っかかっちゃうんだ。
男運と一緒だね。
何よ。
おお、マリリー帰ってきたのか。
ただいま。
今度いつから花を送るよ。
ありがとう。もう2、3日休んでから。
うん。
マリリンちゃんの踊り私も見てみたいわ。
あんたが
どんな踊り？
どんなってそれを
どこで見れる？
いいよ、見せてあげる。行こう、家長さん。マスター、ごちそうさま。お釣りいいから。
ごちそうさま。
もし
あのばさんどっかで見た顔なんだよな。
She seems very out of place at a club. But yeah, it would be. Yeah, the club's like still very small. I mean, it's still bigger than normal. Still bigger, but it's small compared to what you probably see in the U.S. Music's much, but again, really loud, really cloudy, smoky sometimes. All right. Where are we at? There we are.
ただもの、野鳥さんすごいじゃん。野鳥さんすごいじゃん。ただものじゃないって。
昔撮った絹塚かね。
絹塚。Gashitota. Oh, yeah, actually, that's a full phrase. Come on. That's one good thing about this. Yeah, that one right there. So, that's one thing I like about the Kinkyusha dictionary plugin I got, is that it'll actually have some phrases that utilize that word. You can get them, especially if it matches up to what you got. You got to really, so you have a phrase that says more than what the parts would actually be. Gachi. Kinezuka. Gashitota kinezuka ka ne.
なんかやってたの？
And by the way, that's also good advice. Like, don't consider any experience you've had as being wasted. Be willing to think back on what you've done, something similar, and then adapt that to the current situation. A lot of people who are good at improvising, it's not like they're coming up with something new on the spot. They've already had an experience in a situation, or they're adapting an experience they had to that situation. Really good also for problem solving and whatnot as well. But it's also a good example of, like, those that specialize. Even if you specialize, but let's say you also bring something extra to the table that makes your skills that much more important. because even among a field of specialists, and you could do a little extra, which makes you a bit more valuable. Yeah, I guess in that case, whatever her previous dance experience was.
何
Hey, Mark.
何
私ぐらい長く生きてるといろいろとね。何どうしたの？
こっちね。お嬢さん、私ね、本当はダンサーなんて言ったけどストリッパーな。別に隠すつもりってわけじゃ。いや、隠してたか。この間初めて行く小屋があってさ、地方の温泉街。気合い入れて踊ったつもりだったんだけど、誰も踊りなん気合い入れて踊ったつもりだったんだけど、誰も踊りなんか見ちゃいないの。裸が見れりゃなんだっていいのよね、ストリップなんて。それでも踊り子のつもりでいつもは見え張ってんだけどね。それでも踊り子のつもりでいつもは見え張ってんだけどね。
あんた人気あんでしょ。
あるわよ。私が出るとお店の前なんか花でいっぱいになるんだから。
大したもんじゃないか。
大したもんじゃないか。It's no big deal then.
どう？うちでもう一杯やってっかい？
いいの？
うん。
やった。
いいよ、マリリン。
お二人さん仲いいね。
マスター、とりあえずビールと。
マリこんなとこで会うなんてな。
What's his name? Kazama. Is it Kazama or Kazama? Let's see here real quick. It's not saying. Probably Kazama.
こんなとこで会うなんてな。
いや、風間さんマリン知ってんの？
いや、昔養成所の同期で。
Seisho. Is that the not a foster care? Let's see. Training center. Okay. Yoseisho. Yoseisho.
いや、昔養成所の同期でな。
うわー、ちょっとマリンこっち来なよ。すげえマリリン。
By the way, that is kind of really annoying. Like forcing someone to sit down. It's like, well, okay, what if she doesn't want to sit near him for reasons? Like, I know it's drama and whatnot, but it happens in real life too much. That pissed me off.
こんな有名人と同じ養成所に。すげえマリリン。こんな有名人と同じ養成所に通ってたなんて。
小光さんやめてよ。
He's supposed to be famous.
いや、俺昔撮らせてもらったことあってさ。ほら、スタイルいいからモデルにさ。
そう。
いや、風間さん、ブロードウェイの演出家に認められちゃってさ。今度海外のミュージカルに出るんだって。
へえ、あんたってすごい人なんだな。
いやつってもほんとちょい役なんだよ。
主人公の恋人役だぜ。あれのどこがちょい役なんだよ。
まあそうなんだけど。
主人公の恋人役だぜ。あれのどこがちょい役なんだよ。
まあそうなんだけど。
What's the word for it? I know there's a word for it for the false modesty, or you just like you downplay what you're doing, hoping other people will upplay it for you. I forgot I know there's a Japanese word for it, like fishing for compliments. But
ちょっといい？
no, that's creepy.
素敵。
No, I don't. I mean, even if male, female, it doesn't matter. That's just like you get the older people kind of like rubbing on younger people. That's the part that's creepy, you know.
な筋肉。締められたい。
Yeah, because you know it's happened to me more than I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm a bit more forgiving because it is myself, but it's like, but also no, I can say no, and then they can listen. They'd have to listen, right? Whereas other people may feel like if they say no, like they can be like their opinion can be brushed aside. You know, just it's a bit more, especially you know, just be respectful. That's nice that he remembered her, but she's probably feeling okay. Yeah, you kind of know the plot.
周り元気？
おめでとう。
お前も続けてんだってな。あ、ごめん、お前のは踊りって言わねえのか。いやでもショックだったよ。昔の女があそこ見して踊ってるなんてさ。
Whoa!
ストリッパーのどこが悪いんだい？ミュージカルやってりゃ偉いのかい？ちょっと待って。あなたひょっとしてローズ道夫？思い出した。そうだ。あんたどっかで見たことあると思ったらローズ道夫だ。アンビバボー。
Unbelievable. Unbelievable? Let's see if that's unbelievable. Maybe, I don't know.
本物。もう分かってるわよ、うなじのラインと耳たぶ。
耳たぶ Yellow.
もう分かってるわよ、うなじのラインと耳たぶ。
ローズ道夫っていうのは40年ぐらい前一世を風靡して
風靡。風が。flower 何かせるように。Movie. Let's look at this kanji real quick. Let's see. Fluttering wave. Okay. I think I can. Fubi.
40年ぐらい前一世を風靡して忽然と姿を消した伝説のストリッパーさ。
It's kind of creepy, you know, that they're bringing up a story from 40 years ago, but yeah, this is kind of the point of the drama.
いやー、なんて言ったって俺をストリップの虜にしたのはローズさんな
Oh, the musical producer guy went away. Okay.
んだから。
I'm sorry, the actor went away.
ローズはやめとくれ。
だけどなんであんたが知ってんの？
当時よくストリップ見に行っててさ、色気の出し方見習ってたのよ。中でもローズ道夫のあの艶っぽさ、一番のお手本だったの。
So for this, it would have been for 40 years ago, it would have been in the 70s. Yeah, so definitely before, VCRs, so I could explain.
なんでいなくなっちまったんだい。
一番のお手本だったの。
なんでいなくなっちまったんだい。俺は寂しかったんだぜ。
男を追っかけたのよ。私もやっぱり女だったってわけ。
あんたが惚れたぐらいだ。
よっぽどいい男だったんだろうな。
すぐ死んじゃったけどね。
女の人生狂わせんのはいつの時代も男なのよね。
いろいろあったけど、今はもう隠居。
隠居。Pleasant life. 隠居。Quiet life.
いろいろあったけど、今はもう隠居。好き勝手に生きてんの。人様に裸を見せて稼いだ金で、うちの息子は育ったんだ、マリリンちゃん。私はそれを恥ずかしいだなんて思っちゃいないよ。いや、ちょっと
That's actually good. Yeah, make sure the one mistake could happen is, yeah, not saving the money, like spending it as if the money's always going to be there. That's, you'll hear. I mean, it's not something you advertise because again, you would have those that would have no problem going to strip clubs, but then denigrate those that would work in strip clubs later. It's just, yeah. Unfortunately, it's a not unique to Japan, definitely. Yeah. Where are we at?
世の中は酸いも甘いも長良川。
長良川。
お見事。
空に浮かぶ雲の中風手を伸ばす白い雲君が
今日は帰ります。片がうちののれんくぐるんだったら肩書きなんて置いてきな。
Maybe I should. Yeah, I think I will. Let me try something real quick. If it'll open. Come on, guys. Now it's not responding. Great. Come on. There we go. All right, so let's edit with the notepad. All right, just make sure 1608. All right, so what I'm going to do is that right there. Come on. That right there. Search and replace. Okay. No. Shoot. That ain't gonna work. Let's go with the okay. There's a reason for this. Actually, yeah, I'm not showing you what I'm trying to do is get rid of those spaces. Okay, let's go find next. All right, let's replace all. Good. All right, and let's go with okay. Nope. There we go. All right, then we just save this and refresh. And make sure we're supposed to be at around the 16-minute mark. Okay. In fact, while I'm doing this, might as well do it here too. Okay, cool. And save. All right, sorry about that. It's a minor thing. It's just that, let's see, it was at 1608. I wanted to get rid of this one. All that was because of this. So, uchino, noren, come on, kuguru. Uchino noren kuguru. Okay.
肩書きうちののれんくぐるんだったら肩書きなんて置いてきな。
遠く高い空の中で手を伸ばす白い雲、君が吐いた息を吸ってぽっかりと浮かんでる。
今日は帰ります。
ずっと昔の
じゃあその頃には新宿にいたんだ。その頃袋。あ、袋。棒はないけど袋はあるの。
マスター、アジの開きお願い。
はいよ。ローズさんはアジの開きが好きだね。
元ストリッパーだもん。開きはつきものさ。ご会長。
うまいね。
あ
あとローズはやめて。八千代だよ。
あよ。八千代さん。
タクシー拾っていくから。 駅での別れって嫌なんだよ。
駅まで行く。
ここでいいよ。
駅まで行くって。
駅での別れって嫌なんだよ。勝手にタクシー拾っていくから。ありがとう。
For Mark, by the way, I'll explain to that after this episode's done.
じゃあしっかりね。
八千代さんも元気で。
もっと誇りを持っていいんだよ、あんたは。じゃあね。はい、いらっしゃい。
お、どうもお邪魔します。
はい、5000円ですよ。
5000円。
はい。
マラディン。
マリにやってるかな。
うん、大丈夫大丈夫、まあ大丈夫よ。はい、どうも。
5,000 yen, so $50 for okay. So I'm guessing now because I've never really gone to strip clubs in Japan, whereas in the US it's like, you know, there might be an entry fee like maybe 10, $20, I don't know, depends on what level of the bar, but then you're expected to also tip the strippers, or maybe have table dances. I'm assuming this one it's different if it's not set up as a where you're not throwing money on the stage. I'm assuming that instead you might buy roses for the performer, and then that really the roses is the money, because you know you pay a lot more for the rose, which meant that a lot of that money is going to go to the dancer. I'm guessing that's when she's talking about receiving a lot of roses. So I guess like, you know, buying, you know, some, I guess that kind of makes sense. Plus, if it was like you buy a coin or this is the reward, then maybe that would seem kind of cheap. Is like, you know, in this way, you know, if you buy a rose, you know it's going to be used pretty much once, and they're not going to reuse it. So it is that one thing you bought for the, I don't know. Let's see. Like you see, it's like a very small, I mean, just this very small room, you know, and it's just packed with people.
「川は川から」「海は身から」。
何それ。
お魚を焼く時の豆知識。
豆知識。そう、川は川から、海は海から。
川の魚は川から焼いて、海の魚は身から焼くと美味しく焼けます。
川は川から海は海から。
覚えやすいでしょ。
Let's do that again.
覚え
川は川から海は海から。
覚え
海は海から。
やすいでしょ。
鮭は
鮭
鮭はどっちから言うの？
鮭はあと焼くときは網を先に熱しておけば魚の身が網につかない。
ごまかした。
いや、さよならさよなら。
おやすみなさい。
おやすみなさい。
Okay, so more like I know it's about the older lady story, a little bit of the older lady story, and maybe the embarrassment Melanie was having about her job when to people who she knew and prior to her getting the job, maybe. But yeah, it's like careful about insulting a favorite patron. So, and whatnot. And yeah, again, good advice was again saving money. No matter the job. I mean, especially jobs that depend upon the equivalent of physical labor or just where you again let's say like hosting, hostess, or stripping and that modeling, whatnot. Just save the money, invest if you invest wisely, and yeah, you can probably set yourself up to. Or at least you're not desperate for the next job when, let's say, that the job you do have dries up. And because that's the hard part is like the mentality is that it is fleeting. Really, all jobs are in that way, but that can be even flee. It can flee faster than normal, or you could actually stick to it for a while. Hence the reason why a big thing about touring, with her thing, is to make sure one. Kind of make sure that the interest kind of doesn't fade over time, because again, you go to an area where all of a sudden it's a new person, more people will want to show up, and so yeah, I've seen that with I know that they've done that with dance troops, I assume. Yeah, so I guess that depends on the manager to set up a tour. But like you saw with her, it can be tiring, and plus again, you're not at your base of operation, so it may be harder to even save, even though you might get a larger stipend. But per diem, or get a better per diem, but you probably end up spending a lot of that. So sometimes it can be harder to save, and plus sometimes like you don't want to relax in a hotel room as much as you would probably want to relax at home, so you might just want to go out more, which encourages the spending of money. So okay. Yeah, my knowledge on that is really limited. Because like I said, I don't even know where a strip club in Japan is. I mean, I assume there are. I mean, you saw it in Lost in Translation, although maybe wasn't necessarily a strip club, just happened to have new dancers, which is that just means that it's a subtle difference. It's just like, again, the person they're not really the attraction, it's sort of like background. I think that was with Lost in Translation. I could be wrong. I think that was the scene there. Then what are some other shows? Yeah, mostly it just host bars, hostess bars, the soap lands, the health clubs. That's what you mainly see on the. I don't know. I don't think I've seen a strip club walking by. And plus, as a foreigner, it's really difficult to get in those places anyway. Those, usually you say, Japanese only. Even if you want, I mean, you'd have to pretty much be escorted in with another Japanese friend. And that's what in the red light there is, and then outside that is just obviously the host clubs. But a lot of those are actually even, especially around Roppongi, or actually quite a few places. But it could be like where you essentially are paying for the hour, where the lady or guy, whether you're host club or hostess club, will pour the drinks for you, and you sing bad karaoke. So, all right, so let's answer Mark's question. Do you pull your sub files from Netflix? If so, how do you do it? Yes. Now I do it because I have there's a plugin, one plugin you got called Subadub that works with, mainly it works with Chrome, but it's supposed to work with Firefox, but it's kind of shaky. And but you have to go to each episode and have it pull. Then there's a plugin, Jimmy, I forgot the name of it. I'd have to, I don't want to see it just yet, but it's a plugin. I got it on Matt's Refold Discord. So do a search for Jimmy Deru. Not quite sure, but what it'll do is it was a program. It's mainly meant to download the audio of the shows, but do what's called CIA, compact immersion audio. So get rid of all the downtime between the subtitles. That makes sense. I think I explained this before earlier. But one of the things you can also do is say, hey, I want to grab the subtitles. So it can grab the subtitles. You can grab the subtitles either unformatted, so it leaves that as it originally appeared, or also with apply the compact timing as well, since the spacing disappeared in the audio that you recorded in. But if you still want to use the subtitles in, you want to also retime the subtitles so it matches up as well. The benefit there is if you use VLC, if you play an audio file and you activate the visualizer on the audio, under audio you can select visualizer, you activate that, it then will show subtitles if you have the subtitle files for the audio file. And so that's kind of cool. So no video, but you can actually see hey, here's the text popping up and you're hearing the audio. It's actually kind of cool. I mean, if you have audio books that are set up like that, that'd be freaking awesome. When you think about it, just actually display. I think I'll even go a little further. I think Kindle has a version where it will operate with the audiobook, and actually it can analyze the audio enough to where it can place where the text is, and so you actually display the text as the audio plays along. So it's basically doing what I'm doing here, and it's a really fun way to read books. Reading along to audios is fun regardless. This part here, because I look up stuff, because again I'm hitting above my weight class. If I try to watch a show by itself with no subtitles, I'd probably not understand very much of anything, although the visuals give you a lot of clues. If I watched it with subtitles, my reading's strong enough where I can follow the story along, but I might miss some stuff, but I'd still understand a lot of the show. With me looking at it and then looking at words I don't know, now I have near 100% comprehension. Probably a little better because again, this particular show, you kind of actually have to see what's happening outside the dialogue. The visuals are going to be very important. The visual stories. Like the part where they meet at the pachinko place, see each other, motion to the cigarettes, oh yeah, let's go, basically go out and talk. That was an unspoken, but again, that was a dialogue without people talking. So that was a scene that was very important to set up this is a woman who's earlier in her career versus a lady who's already had her career and retired, but very similar career, and they get to right, and so that was a part of the story. And unfortunately, though, again, my video is let's read Japanese, not let's watch Japanese, as I kind of mentioned. So I'm kind of skipping over it. Now I kind of wish I had, and it probably exists, in fact, it probably is, if there's a button that'll skip forward. Let's see, maybe we have that. Let's go with the settings. Speed up playback, slow down playback. Okay. Yeah, they don't have it where it's... Yeah, they don't have it here. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this is Let's Learn Japanese, so that's a little different. Actually, let me get out of... let's see. All right. Mark's saying, yeah, I agree. My comprehension goes up when I can read along. Yeah, this is, and which is kind of funny because there are people who are much better at listening to Japanese than reading. So really, they would be, if they had an audio book, actually, it would help their reading because there would be like, especially maybe words in kanji where they're maybe very weak in kanji, and then but they hear it's like, oh, okay, that's what that is, and then going that way. Mark said, have you tried the Magaku browser extension? It's really good for Netflix. You can press the arrow to skip places with no dialogue. Well, I can do that with this here, learn languages with Netflix. But what I realized with this show, if there's like a minute's worth of skipping, you don't want to skip over the whole minute because there's like a part of the unspoken story that you need to see. So that's why I'm coming over here and clicking on the fast forward 10 seconds. I just kind of wish there was a button, and there probably is, and I don't know if there's a button that'll do that automatically. But yeah, I know about the Migaku browser as well. And he's always updating, and they're always updating it, so it's going to be useful as well. Yeah, what else? I think that's about it. But yeah, like I said, if you get Migaku, should be able to download the subtitles for you that way. But the other program, and Chidi I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's not it's a Chrome plugin, but you have to download it. You can't get it through the App Store. But when you install it, it's really useful because you go to this button. In fact, let me just show you. Okay, this button here. So you can actually choose like all seasons. So you can actually choose the whole season or none of it, or choose just one, or I can do all 3 seasons. Go to the next one, and this is where you can choose. Hey, do you want to download the audio of the show? So you can say no, the condensed audio or the original audio. And then here you can choose the if there's different tracks, you can choose that. In this case, there's only the original Japanese, but it could be English, Spanish, French, whatever. The audio format, if you choose AAC or Opus, if you choose Opus, there's no conversion needed, but MP3 has to convert the audio file, so it takes a little longer. Then the subtitles, if you want to download that. Condensed, this means like if you're removing the non-dialogue portions, so that's what that's for. Original subtitle as needed, or you can do all versions of it. I'm going to turn that to condensed subtitle. And again, the subtitle track, because again, you might have English and Japanese, so I just say, hey, I just want Japanese. But if you wanted to download both, all versions, it will download all the subtitles. The padding just means, okay, 1,000, for me, I set it to 1,000, it could be 500, it could be whatever, but it's like how many milliseconds after the subtitle line ends do you want the audio to cut off? And then that's the padding for this is how much time you want before the audio starts for the sentence. This is how much time you want after the sentence ends. How much time do you want added to the subtitle ending time? All right, and if there's no overlap between the ending of one subtitle line and the beginning of the next subtitle line, that's removed. The lack of overlap is removed. So it turns a 22 minutes of audio TV show down, especially with this tech show, it's down to like 15 minutes. It's like a third of the audio is removed because it's all silence or music or montages. Then this part right here is like your naming convention. So it's like you just want the title of the show, but you can also say there's also a ID number if you want that. Whether or not you want the short label season, so that just means S, and then the season number, or then if you want the episode short name, this means put an E instead of a episode, and then the number. And then this would just be the title of the subtitle file. So it's just okay. Use the audio name. So the Chidi Miru something. I think that's what it's called, Chidi Miru. But yeah, use that file name and then add the JA for Japanese. So yeah, it's a very straightforward. This is actually a really good plugin. Hopefully he improves on it and makes it easier to install. Yeah. Anyway, I probably went down. And by the way, just to explain these parts here, ignore the braces. That's the stuff, the audio stuff in between the parentheses. any of that stuff, it says, hey, get rid of those. And if it's the only thing on that line is a sound, just get rid of the entire line. Don't even use it. Skip intro content, skip recap content. If that button's available on Netflix, then it says, hey, don't include that time. Like, it's probably like a repeat of the intro music, or it's a repeat of the outro. You know, it's just not necessary. Keep braces on start. What this means is like there's a brace at the beginning of a line, but nothing. But there's also text afterwards, regular text afterwards. So that's assuming is that that's usually the name of the person speaking. So I say, do you want to keep that? So that's why I keep braces on start. Why you would click that on, and that's why I do that, because it tells me the person who's speaking, which is useful for subtitle lines. All right. Anyway, I'm going to close this out. All right. Let me go and shrink this down, and we are pretty much done. I'm just. Okay, yeah, we just went over an hour, but I was just talking a little bit too much. Anyway, Mark's good question. Hopefully that answers it. Hopefully your question's answered. And again, sorry I forgot the name of it. Maybe I can go and look it up real quick. Come on. Yeah, it's a CHIDI and then MERU. So Chidimeru. Chidimeru. Cool. All right. All right, guys. Hopefully that was fun. Anyway, this was fun. It was a good episode. Yeah, I'm probably getting me again, I'm getting demonetized all over the place. Like there's like all, if you look at the lines of these are all like yellow saying, yeah, we do not want to put advertisements on any of these videos, which is not a big deal. I mean, I don't care about that. Actually, it sounds selfish or stupid. I kind of wish like they got more internet hits. Like what they'll do is like you'll have the owner of the song claim the copyright, which is fine. It is their song. And then they say, okay, we want to put advertisement on video. Okay, that's fine. But the benefit then means that YouTube will push this to other people besides just my audience. So, like I said, my most viewed videos, like in the 30,000 plus range, were because the song was there. So it's being pushed because of the song. So that means people in Japan are seeing this. And I looked at the stats. There's no reason why anybody be watching this. And they're the most downvoted because apparently they were going to see the video for the song, and instead they're seeing this weird guy for some reason having Japanese text with the show playing in the little square up above with subtitles playing on it as well. It's like, I'm sure if you're Japanese, what the hell is this all about? So downvote and go on to the next video there. So that's what's happening there. Okay, anyway, thanks all, and thanks for the comments, and yeah, I'm gonna be back with the next episode. This will be I'll be setting this to private, but this will be made public again on July the 8th. All right, cool. Later, guys. It's been Let's Read Japanese, King of Shokuro Season 1, Episode 9. Last episode's coming up next day, in a few minutes for those who are watching this live. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. If you like the series, subscribe. I'll do more like this. If you like the Let's Learn Japanese project and what I'm doing with helping the Japanese learning community, you can become a member of the Patreon. There's also links to the Let's Learn Japanese website, the community Discord, and also there are links if you want to hire me on commission to definitely help out if you're just starting out and don't know how to utilize all these programs and stuff that are now become available in the last 10 years. Okay, thank you all very much, and I'll see you next time. Later, and thanks for your comments. In fact, I'll even write that down. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your comments. There we go. All right, later, guys.